What's going on, everybody? My name's Danny. Welcome back to Crypto 99 for another market update. In this video, we're going to talk, for the most part, about a token. Not that I neglect it or anything crazy, but we're going to talk a lot about Ethereum in this video. It's gotten absolutely pummeled again, and I feel like it's just been a constant state of decline for a really long time. In opposite of sometimes the market will move and Ethereum won't. And then when the market goes a little bit, Ethereum goes a lot. So we're going to talk a little bit about, the psyche behind it and some price action that I'm looking for here in the future. Before we get into that, if you have not done so, check the links in the description box. It'll say, click these links to make a difference in someone's life or something of that sort, to take a look at the Charlotte Crypto 99 Autism Speaks walk. I know most of you, obviously 99.9 repeating probably percent, won't be able to actually attend the walk, but you can still make a difference in a kid's life with autism. Autism Speaks is a great charity. They do a ton of research on autism and the causes behind it, some treatments for it, ways to help families with kids with severe versions of it. They do a ton of good in a ton of different communities, so we're hoping to contribute here in Charlotte. If you want to contribute in dollars, you can. If you want to contribute in crypto, you can. They have a Coinbase link. I worked with the team at Autism Speaks to create and set up a Coinbase donations account. So it's huge for them, obviously, to kind of open up to another avenue of fundraising. So I know excess cryptocurrency is a little bit sparse at the moment in the state of the market, but you've got a little bit excess of your investment that you'd be willing to pitch to a really great cause. I encourage you to at least take a look. And even if not, take a look at the walk team and you might find it kind of cool. Anyway, on to the market update. So market is relatively flat. There's some of the majors that are moving down. A lot of the alts are getting hit, in that 5 to 8% range. But because Bitcoin is relatively flat, Ripple is relatively flat, and EOS is kind of flat. 3 of the top 5s are a little bit flat. The overall market cap hasn't moved a ton. 5% off of 60, not even 60%. So you're looking at, 100 and closing in on $130 billion. So that's roughly, 65, 70% of the market. When you're looking at 70% of the market moving, 1 to 2%, you're not going to see huge moves in that market. But other than Stellar, which is kind of on the back of getting a boost with the TokenSoft ICO services expansion. So TokenSoft is launching support for projects on the Stellar protocol. So that's good. That's going to draw more ICOs onto the Stellar platform, therefore drawing more investment onto the Stellar platform. Now that's a double-edged sword, and we'll talk about that with Ethereum a little bit on ICOs drawing or making projects on your platform. And we'll obviously, like I said, talk about that here in just a second. But that's good for the Stellar network. I'm glad that they're actually getting a little bit more acclimated in the ICO space. That's good. They're seeing the price action to justify that. But let's talk about Ethereum. I don't want to spend too much time on some others. I want to talk about Ethereum. But other than just Ethereum, the crypto market as a whole. So I got a ton of alerts today. I use BitUniverse for my mobile tracking of the cryptocurrency universe, hence BitUniverse. And I got a ton of alerts today. It's like, this coin is up 3%. This coin is down 3% in an hour, not in a day. These are hourly alerts, like Bitcoin is up for this, Bitcoin dropped this, Ethereum went this. And I've got my favorites set, and it tells me what price action happens on my favorites. Well, I feel like I got a weird amount of alerts, and I've been getting a lot of alerts lately of coins going up and down 2, 3, 4, 5% in an hour. And I'm not used to seeing that in a market like this, where it's seemingly random. It's not like a market goes down, the market goes up. It's like Cardano is up, and then Stellar obviously is up, and then Dash goes down, and the Dash goes back up, and then Cardano goes down. And then Monero goes. It's really weird. And I want to talk about that. So this $11 billion daily traded volume, this is obviously CoinMarketCap, $11 billion volume, $190 million market cap, or $1 billion market cap. That's over the 5% threshold I've been talking about for a while. But this Bit4X exchange, that's got launched in June of 2018, is accounting for $4.8 billion of that 11, and most of the volume on that, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum. So 3 of the top 4 cryptocurrencies are taking the lion's share of that 4.8 billion. Litecoin coming in fourth with 11 million, like pennies. So most of the volume, like that $11 billion volume, used to be distributed a lot down through Binance and OKEx and Huobi and Bitfinex. And we'll scroll down and I'll show you one of the old classics. Yeah, I've got to scroll down here for a pretty long time to find it. Bittrex. Bittrex used to be like borderline altcoin central. Like they had tons of pairs on there, tons of activity, tons of volume. $53 measly million worth of volume on Bittrex 24 hours. So a lot of that volume that's now just stuck to the majors used to be distributed. So that 11 billion needs to honestly be higher. If we're going to keep this number at 4.8 and you're closing in on like 40 to 45% of that daily volume on Bit4X that's calculated, that's crazy. And there needs to be obviously some distribution for us to see really stability in the altcoin market. And I think that's one of the reasons there's so much crazy volatility right now in altcoins popping up and down. And it's not, the randomness leads me to believe it's not people coordinating this 3%. It's just you've got the median line, the current price line now, and you don't have the volume of orders to eat up and slow that down. You've got very, very low liquidity orders, like much smaller buy and sell walls or smaller order books directly above and below the median line. So they're just getting eaten through. Like it's not anything out of the ordinary. It's just typical volume, but they're eating through price action up and down. It's not chewing through a bunch of orders at the same level. It's moving a lot more. So it's creating, I mean, a day trader's dream, but you can't predict most of it. Some of it's just little 2 to 3% ticks are a little strange. But let's kind of move on to how that has affected Ethereum. Ethereum has gotten bludgeoned. I mean, absolutely bludgeoned. And some people have liked to point this out. Ever since Ethereum got listed on BitMEX, this is the BitMEX daily chart for Ethereum. Looks like a sad waterfall of red blood. Like it's basically what it's been. It's gone from about 420 all the way down to 180 since it got listed on August 2nd. So from August 2nd to September 11th today, got absolutely bludgeoned. But I'm not going to blame it solely on BitMEX. Obviously, we know, there's been some manipulation on BitMEX. We won't get into that. I've done that before. Let's talk a little bit about the psyche behind Ethereum. So Ethereum has a lot of upgrades coming later in the year, which leads me to this, bullish long-term sentiment on Ethereum. But it's counteracted by a few things. ICO mania, I think, is killing Ethereum right now because in a down market, a lot of these ICOs have pushed back their token distributions. They're hitting some of these landmark moments in their roadmap where I think they were anticipating having a lot more money. I think they were anticipating Ethereum being worth 3, 4, 5, 6 times what it is now. And so they're having to proportionally dump that much more Ethereum back into the market to get a lot of this cash out to make what they promised happen. So that's no big secret. I mean, people know ICOs have been dumping Ethereum, but I think it's way more than we expected. Way more than we expected to actually have been dumped. And there's some exchanges that have put some crazy amounts of Ethereum, or had some crazy amount of orders of Ethereum, kind of go back in. And that's definitely a reason that Ethereum is behaving the way it's behaving right now. Is there's a little bit of, you look at the roadmaps, a lot of the roadmaps started July 1st. And July 1st, it'd have a July or Q2 or Q3 of this year, stuff's going to come out, or Q3, Q4. Well, July 1st starts Q4, and on July 1st, let's go back to July 1. July 1st, it was like 477. We're kind of hanging on. Then people start to hit the panic button. And it starts to go down, and got hit more than anything in the market, pretty much. It lost over 50% of its value, borderline 60, 65% of its value from July 24th to now. That's crazy. Absolutely batshit nuts. And that's a huge reason to do that. Or a huge reason that actually happened. Secondly, I want to point out some investment opportunity in Ethereum. Like I'm looking at this, I'm looking at taking a long in Ethereum. And this is why. So a couple reasons. One, there's upgrades later on in the year. We know that. They're coming. They've been announced for a pretty long time. I actually opened a long at like 180.50, I think, is where I actually opened it at. And we'll see how that plays out. It's a low leverage long, so if I left myself room for some fluctuation. But I drew this band down here, this little support band that I'm looking at, this blue square. And there's been some wicks back here. We're at the lowest price we've been right now since July 29th, 2017, over a year. So we're going on not an unprecedented price move. I mean, Ethereum went crazy parabolic last year. We all know that. But this is still, we're testing waters we haven't tested in a long time. So I'm curious to see how the buyers will act. They acted down here last time. Let's see how they continue to. Secondly, is this channel that I have drawn. And there's two indicators that I'm looking at in this channel. One, good old buddy Fibonacci. So we're in an A, B, C, in my opinion, correction wave. And I'm actually going to draw that now. I know some people like Elliott waves, some people don't. This is kind of what I'm looking, A, B, C. And you may be looking at a up, down, bust out of this falling wedge. People call it bull flag, people call it whatever they want to call it. It's a little bit long for my taste, in my opinion. But here's just so you kind of get to look at the ABC. And here's what I'm looking from a Fibonacci standpoint. This is one reason why I think this level's it's a relatively good bounce point. So you've got this 176.39 at the negative 0.382. That is, we bounced at the negative 236 pretty hard, 20, 22, 23% or whatever it was. And I'm looking to have another bounce here at the 382 off of that fib level. Something else that I'm thinking about. We are at the bottom of this channel per se, like almost at the very, very bottom. Very bottom of a trading channel. Third, the RSI is as low as granted, it was low about a month ago, but we were in the middle of this channel, so we weren't going to have the crazy bounce as naturally technical-wise as we did back here in April. So on the 1st of April, the RSI was way, way, way down low. We went from 365 all the way up to 854. I'm not saying we could go that high, but reasonable expectation would be that we at least get back up to this 236 fib level and test that again. That level, I know without having too much on it, other than the Fibonacci level that we've looked like we have, I'll say successfully bounced off of, or $10 above it after pretty much bouncing off of it perfectly, is a pitchfork. And a lot of people have not used pitchforks in the past. I haven't used a ton of them, but I am going to use one. And it almost fits perfectly from the A wave, high to low, to the 1, 2, 3. It almost fits absolutely perfectly from the length of the A wave to the beginning point of that B, or the A, and then the B wave here. It almost fits perfectly. So you've got a pitchfork down, you've got the bottom of this trading channel, and you've got your support. Reasonable expectation would be just to go back to the mean line. And this may give you some reasoning on why things traded certain directions. Like, why was there this random bounce? Random bounce off the pitchfork. And you can actually add sections like Fibonacci sections in this pitchfork to give you even better I'm actually going to take the 382 out. I'm going to add that one. So you can see on this pitchfork, you're trading off of the 236 line, and you've got some 618, correlations there. You've got some definite pitchfork correlation, but I'm looking to kind of make a move back up to the median, which, if you remember, I know there's going to be a lot on the screen. People get crazy when there's a lot. Back up to the magical 236 line. That's 2nd of October. I know they're going to kind of correlate. They're going to overlap a little bit. But in the next little while, I'm expecting a move back up. Maybe it doesn't look super bottomy to everybody, but using some indicators I haven't used in the past on this channel, I use in my personal trading, does look like it could make a move back up the center. It looks like we found a little bit of support, oversold like crazy on the RSI, bottom of the trading channel. Last time we were both oversold and at the bottom of a trading channel, and in what I would call a support band back here. Had a nice little run. Maybe we'll have one, maybe we won't, but there are upgrades coming. So Ethereum is at a extreme discount right now, in my opinion. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold any financial instrument, digital asset, whatever you want to call it. This is what I'm doing, and this is what I see, giving you a little bit of an insight into how my brain works. But I hope you guys got something out of this video. I was going to go over some other pieces of news that may or may not matter. You can read the news. You don't need me to read the news to you every single day. If you want to look at some of the stuff about the ICO and what the NASDAQ says they're going to do, go to CoinDesk. I don't want to kind of waste your time. I'll divert you there. But I hope you guys got something out of the video. If you like this style of video, and I haven't looked into Ethereum a bunch, but did obviously in this video, hit the thumbs up as well. Subscribe. and notification bell down below. Join the Discord. Tons of value brought in there. Theo is back making videos. He's doing a trading series, so definitely stay in tune for that using Elliott Wave, which is his by far favorite way to actually trade. But thank you for watching the video again. If you haven't looked at the Crypto 99 Charlotte Walk for Autism Speaks, like I mentioned at the beginning, look at that down in the description box below. Thank you for watching. Hope I brought you the value I aim to bring you every day, and I look forward to bringing you that value next time.